In this lesson, we're going to learn how to access the elements in an array list. You do that using the get method, and I'll demonstrate that in just a moment. First of all, let's go back over how to create an array list and add elements to it. So we start out with ArrayList, followed by the data type. We'll work with numbers still. Then we call the constructor for the array list with the data type and the open and close parentheses. Then we'll write a for loop. And let's go I less than 11, so we're going to put the numbers 1 through 10 into this array list, plus plus I. Then you write numbers.add sub I, or add I, to add each I value to the array list. Then if we want to access these elements, we'll use another for loop. Let's say we want to determine the total. Well, we can do that by first creating a variable total, initialize it to 0. Then we can write another loop. The loop will run one less than the size of the array list, the size of numbers, starting at 0. Total plus equal numbers get I. The elements of an array list are ordered starting at position 0. So by calling get with the for loop running from 0 to 1 less than the size, we're going to pull each element out of the array list in order starting at position 0 through the last element in the array list. Get simply returns the element that's stored at position I, whatever that is. And now we can display the total. And let's save and then compile and run the program. And then run it. And the total should be 55, and it is. So if I want to display, for example, the first and last elements, I could write system out println first element plus numbers get 0, and then we could write out system out.println last element. And here I'm going to have to do a little computing, and we'll have to do numbers.size minus 1, like so. Because theoretically, I'm not supposed to know how many elements are in the array list. That's one of the main features of an array list, that you don't have to know the size, the total number of elements in the array list. We have the size method to tell us how big the array list is, and then we can use arithmetic from that, numbers.size minus 1, to get at the very last element. So let's see if that works. We'll save it. Let's clear the screen. Compile again, and then run. The first element is 1, and the last element is 10. So accessing elements of an array list just involves calling the get method with a position, sometimes called an index position, of the element you want to get, always starting at position 0 through 1 minus size, or the size minus 1. And that's all there is to accessing elements of an array list. In the next lesson, we're going to talk about how to pass array lists to methods, because a lot of times you'll want to pass an array list to a method in order to modify the elements of the array list in some way.